Hello friend, this is Ryan Hicks of TaughtToProfit.com. Today I just want to talk to you about Bitcoin. Real quickly though, we're seeing more and more press about Bitcoin. More and more of the old guard is talking about how it's a bubble and you shouldn't buy it, it has no value, all these things. They've been saying this since it was $500 a coin. Oh, that's useless, it's a bubble, it's not going to go anywhere, it's going nowhere, it's going to lose all your money. Meanwhile, if you put the money in the investments they want you to put it in, 401ks and stocks and bonds and all these things, you haven't made any money. You've barely progressed at all. Where you could put the same amount of money in Bitcoin, you would have had 1,000% return this year alone. Well over 1,000%. I don't have any Bitcoin to sell you, but I do want to tell you this, because I think I have a moral imperative to tell people when there are certain things approaching us. For example, the currency that's just being pushed out there and printed wildly from countries all over the world. You have to realize you have to have something invested in blockchain technologies, whether it be Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, or some of the numerous altcoins that exist out there that have value. There's hundreds of them, probably well over 1,000 of them that have no value and are completely useless. But there are plenty of them that have value or doing unique things of substance that if you invest in now could have great returns. Where we are is where the internet was. I remember back when I first saw CompuServe, and you had to lease this computer that was a monochrome monitor, and you got just weather and sports scores and I guess maybe email. I don't even remember if there was email at that time with the CompuServe unit, but that was it. And then it went on to where you get your modem and your own computer and you can connect to the internet. If you had invested in that technology then, in very little bit of money, I'm not talking about investing millions. If you invested $100 back then, it would be worth millions today. And you're at that same position, which is not a position many people get to have multiple times in their lives. You're at that same position with blockchain and where it's going, and Bitcoin and some of these various altcoins, that you are at the position. And yes, Bitcoin is at 16,000 plus today as I'm saying this. It hasn't hit its peak. It's nowhere close to its peak. Its peak is probably tens, maybe hundreds of times what it is right now. It could go down, it could have some corrections, but it's not going anywhere. It is going up. Now, it may go somewhere as far as not being used as a currency. It may be used more as an asset, more as a commodity where people are looking to it as a store of value, kind of like gold. People don't buy gold so they can go spend it at the local store. They buy it as a store of value, because they know if they buy $1,200 worth of gold today, it's going to have the same relative value in 10 years. It might be worth $1,600 in 10 years, but that's because the US dollar or whatever it's based on has went down in value. And so it's going to retain and be a store of value, and Bitcoin is the same way as physical gold in that sense. Matter of fact, it's even better because physical gold doesn't go up like Bitcoin has. And you look at this chart and you just see the progression. And as more and more people, with Coinbase claiming they get 100,000 people a day signing up, more and more people getting into this, and the market has barely been touched. There's barely anybody currently involved compared to stocks and bonds and all these things. And with the scarcity, the limit to the amount of Bitcoins that there are, this is the most textbook economic thing in the world, which is supply and demand. There's a limited supply of Bitcoin, and there's more and more demand. You need to be on the side of seeing that this can only go one direction, up. Yes, it could be manipulated and go down for a few days. As long as you don't get in fear and you don't get into greed, don't panic, and just wait it out, you'll be fine. Obviously, I'm not a financial advisor. Do whatever you want to do. I'm just telling you to really research this and think about it. If you have your money rotting away in some 401k or stuck in gold and silver, which is ridiculous, listen, you could take the same amount of money you invested in gold and silver or the stock market, at the beginning of last year, and at this point, you could buy 15 times more stocks, 15 times more gold, 15 times more silver than you would have, even with the appreciation in those assets, comparatively speaking, because Bitcoin is just on that much of an astronomical ride. And people are trying to compare it with stocks. They're trying to compare it with this company or that company. Some are foolishly comparing it to Ponzi schemes, meaning they don't even understand what Ponzi schemes even were. The reality is a lot of people are afraid of it, but you don't need to be one of those people. I'm not telling you to invest your life savings. I'm not telling you to do anything. Do whatever you want. But if it were me, I would want to be invested in some blockchain technology coins, Bitcoin, an altcoin that has value, that has use today. And I'd want to be heavily invested in it. Having your investments in all these things. Now, life's a risk. You may say, well, I don't want to take that risk because it may go bad on me. I may lose money. Well, that can happen in anything. I've seen people have their money in 401ks and lose tremendous amounts of money. And that was supposed to be safe. That was supposed to be less risky. How long are you going to be told these traditional methods where they wipe out your money over and over again? Or you shove all your money into a house thinking that's a wise investment. And you realize it wasn't an investment at all. You need a place to live, yes, but it's not an investment. It appreciates 2% a year or something, barely even enough to cover the property taxes. It is not a wise investment. And you're looking right now at history, and you're in the position to get in literally on the ground floor of this technology. Yes, it's been around. Bitcoin's been around for 7 years, and it's been actively really ramped up in the media in the past 2 or 3 years. But you're the perfect time to get in. People are talking about it. More and more people, hundreds of thousands of people a day are getting in to cryptocurrencies, and you need to be in on that as well. You may say it's a bubble. This isn't a bubble. If it pops, it's going to go down a little bit. That's it, if you want to call it a bubble. But it's not a bubble in any traditional sense of the word. Even when there was a housing bubble, so to speak, and yes, people lost their houses and there were a lot of bad things that happened from that, house prices didn't decrease 50%. Some places they did, but that was from other issues. Most house prices, they decreased some, yes, but they still retain some value. Bitcoin's the same way. If it drops 50% today, if you'd invested at the beginning of the year, you're still looking at a ridiculous return of 800-900%. This is the time to get in. Now you choose what you're going to get into: Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, any of these things. I suggested a coin to somebody literally a few days ago, and it's already went up 130%. That was on the 9th, and today's the 13th, and already in that 4-day period, it's already went up over 100%. This, my friends, is time to get in. There's money to be made ethically, honestly. You're not cheating anybody, you're not tricking anybody. There are people that want to buy your coins from you. You can sell them at a great profit. There are ICOs you can get in that are valuable and they're producing real value in the world. There's all kinds of sites like Steemit. There's DTube, which is a video platform based on blockchain, file storage services based on blockchain. There's all kinds of things being integrated now within blockchain that is extremely valuable and useful in today's world. And you buying into this technology is going to make you very wealthy. And I'm not promising you anything, because you could do whatever you want. And you could get in on Bitcoin and still sell at a loss because you get fearful. Anything could happen. It could drop tremendously as well. I don't know what's going to happen. I'm not pretending to know what's going to happen. But I can look and see what's going on, and I can see over the many, many years of trading stocks and currencies and things that I've seen what is going on, and this is very obvious. It's an obvious play here. Get in on some good cryptocurrencies that have value, that have a good market share, and start seeing some profit today. I'll put a link in the description to a book that will explain cryptocurrency and crypto assets and will help make a lot more sense of this for you. In case you do want to invest, this would be a good book to have to get an understanding of what's going on. And you'll be way more informed than the average person, and you'll be able to make a wise decision based on your own knowledge and your own research. I pray it's been a blessing for you. May God bless you richly.